Let's jump right into this explainer. Why tomorrow matters in Italy. When you close your eyes and picture Italy, what comes to mind? Probably people just totally soaking up the now, right? A massive meal with loud friends, a packed, sun-drenched piazza on a summer evening, or maybe just throwing back a quick, perfect cup of coffee at the local bar. It's an image we all know and love, the absolute ultimate celebration of today. But as we're going to see, beneath that famous, present-focused stereotype lies a completely different, much less obvious cultural truth. Italians actually spend a massive amount of time thinking about and prepping for tomorrow.
The stereotype is living for today, but the reality is preparing for tomorrow. The future in this culture isn't just something that passively happens to you. It's not a bus that just shows up on schedule. Instead, it's viewed as something you actively prepare for, carefully cultivate, and, most importantly, patiently wait for. In fact, so many aspects of daily Italian life are shaped by this profound belief that certain things just inherently get better with time.
Time is not an enemy of quality. It is considered an ingredient. Now, this is really fascinating when you look at Italian food. We all know the cuisine is absolutely revered worldwide, but there's a hidden mechanism behind why it's so good. Time itself is treated as an active ingredient. Think about those iconic dishes: a heavy lasagna, a rich meat ragu, a hearty soup, or a deep stew. Sure, they taste amazing, piping hot right off the stove. But talk to literally any Italian cook, and they will absolutely insist that those flavors get vastly richer and way more complex after a full night of rest. In this context, time isn't degrading the food, it's elevating it.
Gli avanzi, leftovers. Viewing yesterday's meal as the foundation for today's lunch rather than mere scarcity. The direct translation really doesn't do the mindset justice. In a lot of cultures, leftovers are just, well, kind of a sad consequence of cooking too much, right? Stuff you begrudgingly heat up in the microwave. But in Italy, remnants like yesterday's stale bread or leftover roasted meat are intentionally and super creatively transformed into completely new dishes, like rich bread soups and vibrant salads. Traditional recipes were literally born across the country out of this exact desire to never waste food, effectively making yesterday's meal the deliberate foundation for today's lunch.
Waste or opportunity? It really challenges us to ask how we view our own leftover food, doesn't it? Is it just an unfortunate consequence of a meal or a brilliant opportunity to build for the future? This whole practice of using gli avanzi reflects something way bigger than just kitchen economics. It shows this incredible cultural reflex to always think one step ahead. It's an ability to spot deep value where someone else might just see useless remnants. It is basically a daily, domestic exercise in forward thinking.
Preventivo, an estimate or quotation provided before a job is done. And this forward-thinking mentality stretches way past the kitchen table. Historically, and even today, meals are planned with a mental budget, looking at the days ahead, and considering what's actually in season. Spending blindly without thinking of the future is definitely viewed with deep suspicion, which brings us to this great word. Whether it's renovating a house, fixing a car, or hiring a professional, Italians culturally demand to know the cost up front. Asking for a preventivo is a vital habit because it gives a very real sense of control over what's coming. Before moving forward, you always look ahead.
The best bottle is not necessarily the newest one. Moving right along from the kitchen and the household budget down into the cellar, we see this exact same patience beautifully mirrored in Italy's famous wines. It really boils down to this simple idea. Some of the country's absolute most prized wines are just not meant to be consumed immediately after bottling. They are intentionally locked away in dark cellars to age for years, sometimes decades before they reach their most complex expression. The longer the wait, the greater the payoff. It's an exercise in extreme, calculated patience.
Year 1, planting the tree. Year 10, cultivating slow growth. Generation 2, harvesting the greatest benefits. This brilliantly captures the macro-level agricultural mindset. Just look at the life cycle of an olive tree. Year 1, you plant it. Fast forward to year 10, and you're still just cultivating its very slow growth. It's usually the second generation, the kids or grandkids, who will actually get to harvest the massive benefits and full productivity of that tree. So, planting a slow-growing olive tree is this ultimate act of confidence in the future. The person digging the hole in the dirt knows full well they might not see the prime harvest, but they do it anyway, because tomorrow matters.
Generational architecture. Historic town centers, stone houses, terrace landscapes, and vineyards. This generational thinking definitely doesn't stop at agriculture. It literally shapes the ground Italians walk on. When you're admiring those breathtaking historic town centers, the sturdy stone houses, The elaborately terraced landscapes carved right into mountainsides, and those ancient vineyards, you are looking at the result of work spanning multiple generations. A family will take on a property and improve it little by little, fully aware that the project is way bigger than their own lifetime, and will keep going long after they are gone.
Buildings as simple investments versus buildings as inheritances connecting past and future. Here is the crucial difference. In a lot of parts of the world, we look at buildings purely as financial investments. We flip them, we sell them, we extract the equity. But in many Italian regions, these stone houses and walls aren't quick flips. They are treated as profound inheritances. Their main job is to act as a physical bridge, explicitly designed to connect the past directly to the future.
Reasons for high personal savings: protection against uncertainty, political instability, economic changes, and social shifts. This cautious, forward-looking attitude perfectly explains a really fascinating economic data point. For decades, Italian families have historically maintained incredibly high personal savings rates compared to a lot of other Western nations. Why? Because saving money isn't just a financial choice, it's a cultural form of protection. Italian history has been heavily marked by political instability, economic swings, and major social shifts. The future, therefore, is rarely taken for granted. It has to be anticipated, prioritizing deep preparation over reckless risk.
Chi va piano, va sano e va lontano. Who goes slowly, goes safely, and goes far. This mindset is baked right into the language itself. Take this incredibly popular proverb. It just proves that the culture does not glorify reckless speed or overnight success. Instead, it actively praises steady, methodical progress and durable, long-term results. It's a reminder that rushing blindly into the future is foolish, but walking into it deliberately is exactly how you survive and thrive.
Domani è un altro giorno. Tomorrow is another day. Now, it's super important to note that all this historical caution doesn't mean people are pessimistic. Actually, quite the opposite. This other common proverb reveals a really deep underlying optimism. Despite all their preparation and historical caution around economic or political shifts, Italians ultimately see the future not as a looming threat, but as a beautiful, fresh opportunity for improvement. The future is approached with caution, sure, but equally with persistence and hope.
Some of the best things in life take time, whether it's patiently letting a great wine age in a dark cellar, meticulously restoring a centuries-old stone house, transforming yesterday's bread into today's soup, or just setting hard-earned money aside to protect your kids. The overarching lesson here is crystal clear. The stereotype of Italy just being a place to enjoy today is really only half the story. The real secret is simple but super powerful. Some of the best things in life take time. Tomorrow truly is better than today, provided you do the work to prepare for it.
What are you planting today for tomorrow? To wrap up this explainer, I'll leave you with this thought, directly inspired by the olive farmers and the cooks we've talked about today. Looking closely at your own daily habits, both big and small, what long-term seeds are you planting right now that your future self will actually thank you for? Are you just building a quick fix, or are you creating an inheritance? Take a page out of the Italian playbook, slow down, prepare carefully, and give your future the time it deserves.